friends, aiming. Okay, this is a really fun module. I think you're going to really like the information in here. As we noted with the CERT training pistol, we have a take-up laser, and I'll put it the camera here. No one's behind it. We're okay. I have a take-up laser when you prep that laser, prep the trigger rather, and then when you go past that prep, and boom, you break the shot. Bam, we get the shot indicating laser. The Pro model has the green shot indicating laser, and the Performer models have the red shot indicating lasers. And generally the prep laser, that first laser that comes on when you flick the switch back, that's lower, it's out of sight picture, and the shot indication is just kind of like right along the sight, and it just kind of kisses up and meets the sight picture about 15 yards. So it's close enough to being right about where bullet impact is. All right, so the take-up indicator is great for some trigger control drills we hit on, but we can actually use it. This has been a really fun, effective way to get sight alignment in, that sight alignment, the aiming block with sight picture and sight alignment in the classroom, real quick, real easy. And I think why this is so popular with instructors is because you really look like you really look smart in this section. You really look like you got your diagnostics dialed in, which I'll show and I'll demonstrate right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the take-up indicator as a tool to, so you know if the CERT is aligned on target, if they have sight alignment. So you can see behind me, I have these two, there's one target, I have a sticky note, okay? I put a sticky note a few yards out, nothing crazy. And if you notice below the sticky note, all right, there's a little mark on the wall. I'll put it on the big screen now. You can see the little mark on the wall. We set that up. That is where the take-up indicator hits when we have sight alignment. Let me demo. This will come clear. So I turn the take-up indicator on, okay? I'm going to take aim. I prep the CERT, and boom. Okay, so you can see that when I take up, it should be about right on that mark, and then boom, I break the shot, and I am within that target, that acceptable active zone of the target. Now I got to calibrate. My targeting to my CERT, okay? And what I do in this case is I put up a sticky note. I have my assistant instructor, put this on the wall, like point towards the wall. I still don't let them muzzle me. You keep those practices even when doing setup, but they don't point it at me, but I'm downrange from them, so to speak, right? But they prep and they break, and I'll take a little piece of a sticky, like a little adhesive part, I'll rip that off, and I'll put it where the take-up lands, okay? I don't suggest or recommend that you adjust the take-up laser. You can adjust them, and I would suggest putting them way out of sight picture, to talk about in a second. Put them down, but you don't have to screw around messing. It's easier to make the dot, right? If you're doing this on a whiteboard as targets, it's real easy because you can draw your target on the whiteboard and you just put a dot wherever that take-up laser lands. It's simple, easy, it's fast, it's a quick way to see if that muzzle's aligned, right? Now, how do you use this? How do you practically do this in the course? Well, let's say you have 8 people on that firing line. You've already set this up beforehand, so budget in it doesn't be crazy, probably about 10 minutes of setting up your targets. What you may want to do is have your CERTs all in the same orientation, so they're all roughly about the same impact. Okay, so you can adjust them. You can set up your reference dot the same throughout all shooting positions, so the CERT's not specific to that shooting position. And boom, you tell people, okay, everyone, get on the line, please. What I want you to do is take the slack out of that trigger. That means prep that trigger, just so you press it and you feel that wall where it kind of stops before it's going to break a shot. And stop right there, please, and go. What happens is people are going to line up, just like take their position. They'll probably close an eye, right? And they'll probably close an eye. And when I close an eye, I can't even see that lower laser, right? I can't even see it. I mean, of course, it's on our big screen up here, right? But I can't even, it's out of my sight picture, right? I don't even know what's going on, right? But what do you know as an instructor? Well, you know right now if it hits that reference dot, that lower reference dot, they got sight picture. What is a common deficiency amongst shooters starting out? Well, one of the ones I've observed that's fairly common is that they raise that front sight And it's almost like I think they take the front of the muzzle and they align that with the rear sight, and then the little round dot just sits above it. It's something like that. Generally, I call it snow coning, where it's sitting high, and that front sight sits high. It's a common deficiency, but it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, if it's not lined up, if that red laser is not on the reference dot, they're not aligning that muzzle correctly. So if you come along and you see this, all right, you see like something like this, like, okay, you got sight picture? Like, yeah, I think I got it, pursuant to how you taught me there, instructor. Now what you do as an instructor is you rotate the pistol down, you rotate it down, you say, okay, then you take a peek down range, you go, why don't you rip off a shot now? Boom, they fire it off, they get the target, you know, they understand the shot indication is where the bullet would land, right? And they look at you like you're a genius. Because your adjustment is subtle. It's subtle. I mean, you can't really tell how much they're off. Sometimes you can tell if they're looking over the sights, but you don't pull it down. You just rotate the pistol down. Just rotate the pistol down a little bit like that, like so, okay? And cheat, you know, you can look down range. And then when they break the shot, they get that instant like gratification. They get that instant assessment like, oh, okay, now I see that front sight. I see it in between the rear sight, all right? And I see where the shot hit. Like, oh, okay, it all makes sense now. It all makes sense, all right? So that's a quick little, we call it kind of a parlor trick, you know, to get in sight alignment. This works at a prescribed distance. So if you go further back, of course, those lasers will deviate more, right? If you're closer, it will be less. So just be aware of that they have to be standing about a right prescribed distance for that arrangement from the target to the reference dot to the pistol, all to that triangle to work.